You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey Rebel, if you didn't know yet, I've just launched a Substack. Now some of you will know this, you'll be receiving them in your inbox or perhaps reading them on the app. Substack is a writer's haven. It's somewhere where I can go each week and just sort of write something, reflect on an insight or something that's important to me. And as you will know by now, I don't hold back in those writings. You know, it's somewhere where I go and it's kind of my I alchemize a bunch of stuff that kind of like wants to go out into the world. So I'd love your support over there. It's completely free. Just click the link in the show notes, come along, follow it. It'd be great. I mean, you can read it without following if you'd like to, but it'd be lovely if you would follow. And then basically you get them sent to your inbox each week. And it's, as I said, it's a great place where I can explore a lot of the topics that we explore here on the podcast in more depth. Often the weekly Substack will kind of flow into the podcast as well. So the combination of the two of them will go much deeper than just one of them alone. So it's definitely worth checking those out. And they're not super long or anything like that. Usually 5 to 10 minutes of a read. And I love doing it. So I'd love to have your eyes on there. That would be awesome. All right, Rebel, I'll hand you over to me. See you in a sec. Hey, my Rebel friends. Okay, we're talking about a question today. Are you trying to find the right words, right? And I think often in life we're trying to find the right words to convey what we mean. We're trying to find the right words to share something that we've been afraid to share. Perhaps it's something with a partner or a friend. Perhaps it's something at work, professionally. There's something that we want to ask for, something we'd love to start happening, or something that we'd love to stop happening. And wisdom is nudging us in that direction. And I think the default for most of us, or for many of us, is that we start trying to figure out the right thing to say. Okay, so what's the lever I can pull linguistically or with language that would cause this thing to happen or to help somebody understand where I'm coming from? And I'm not sure it's necessarily always the right way to go about it. It's completely innocent, like it makes logical sense to try and figure that out. But actually, I think it's secondary. I think the words that we say are always secondary to the energy or the feeling that we're coming from. Because I think that's picked up on. And it's very easy for us to kind of forget how powerful that deeper level of communication is actually. And so often, imagine a scenario where we say the right words, but we're coming from a space of anger, for example. I mean, it's clear people kind of would say, well, they're being kind of passive aggressive or something like that. It can be interpreted in different ways, as where if we're coming from a settled space, a less busy mind, when we're not so caught up in our insecurities, we tend to just know what to say. It tends to just come out in a right way. And the words, if you like, are secondary, because the words are, to use a metaphor, they're kind of floating on the feeling. And I think that's key. Sid Banks, he always used to say, don't listen to my words, find a feeling. And what he was pointing to, as it seems to me, is the deeper feeling that his words were sitting on, the pointing back to the truth of how we work and who we are. And I just think it's worth having an eye on that, because if you've been in the pattern, and this was me for a long time in my life, of basically taking action when I was stirred up, and we've spoken about the sense of urgency on this podcast a lot, or, really trying to even be scripted in what we say, trying to dial in exactly what we say. Stories can come up around that, things around, oh my God, how will this be received? What if it gets received that way? What if it gets received this way? What if this person, there's all of that kind of stuff can come up, and we can get tied in knots about trying to find the right thing to say. But when we simplify it, when we come back to, where am I coming from? Am I stirred up right now? Do I have to talk about this right now, or can I actually take a minute? Can I go for a walk? Really, is it really urgent that this conversation happens now? And does this conversation have to come from this energy? And reliably, when we just kind of come back to ourselves, when we kind of realize that we've been caught up, the words find themselves. It's not your job to find the right words or anything like that. And so, just something to reflect on this week. Where are you coming from? What feeling are you in? And is it really that urgent? Do you have to take action and say the things now? All right, team. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll catch you soon.